Hey, what is going on? It is a little after 11 p.m. on Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you all had a great day and got a lot of stuff done. This is going to be my follow up from last night. Last night we talked about a credit freeze and what a credit freeze was for your credit report. And I told you that there was something called a fraud alert, which is very similar to a credit freeze. There's really only one major difference to it. So tonight we're going to do what a fraud alert is for your credit report. Um, just bear with me a little bit. I usually take notes or type out notes, and I have something in front of me to go off of because this all isn't coming right out of my head. I don't make this stuff up. I research it and I get it from sources on the internet, and this is actually from the credit bureau's information. Um, but tonight I'm trying something different. I'm going to leave it on my screen, and I'm going to try to just scroll around my notes that are on the screen instead of having a piece of paper in front of me. So bear with me. Here we go. What is a fraud alert? A fraud alert is just it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, just like a credit freeze doesn't. It's a notification that you add to your credit report that basically tells anybody that is getting a credit application with your information, with your name, that they have to verify your identity before they process that application for whatever kind of credit it is. That's the extra step that's different than a credit freeze, really. You can have a fraud alert on your credit and apply for credit, and they just have to contact and verify who you are before they give you the credit. So basically, it just adds an extra layer of security to your application process. Main goal, obviously, to prevent criminals or bad guys from opening credit using your name and your information. When someone processes your application, a bank, a creditor, whatever it may be, usually the first step for the credit check is or first step in the credit process application is they do a credit check and they pull your credit. Well, if you have a fraud alert on your credit, they cannot pull your credit. It gives them that alert. It gives them notification that they have to verify who the person is first that's applying for the credit before they can actually pull your credit. So that's that extra step that's different than a credit freeze. As I said last night in my video last night, a credit freeze, your credit is just locked. Nobody can use it. There's no verification. It's just locked. It can't be used. It doesn't matter what they do. It can't be used. It can't be pulled. So basically just holds up the process of giving out any credit or pulling your credit to give credit until they can identify you and verify that you actually applying for that credit. If you request a fraud alert from any one of the three main bureaus, which again are TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, they are the three main national credit bureaus that monitor everybody's credit whenever you make a purchase or whenever you make your payments on your credit, loans, houses, cars, credit cards, student loans, all kinds of credit. They're the three main bureaus. If you apply for a fraud alert from one of them, you don't have to do it for the other two. It automatically goes across the board. That's another difference from fraud alert to a credit freeze. With a credit freeze, you have to specifically go to each credit bureau and apply for a credit freeze. Fraud alert, you just have to do it with one, and it covers all three. All right. There's typically three types of fraud alerts. You can request whatever one applies to you. There's a basic temporary fraud alert. They also call it an initial fraud alert. This is only for 90 days, and you have to renew it or else it expires. You can add it onto your credit report at any time for any reason, and you can renew it as many times as you like. The second type is an active duty fraud alert. Now this is pretty good. This is for active duty service members, military, that are on assignment away from home. This lasts for 1 year unless it's removed earlier. Service members have to provide specific information when they request this type of alert. That's the second one. And the third one is one that hopefully never happens to any of you that sees this or anybody else, is the fraud victim alert. And we deal with this all the time in my job. If you're a victim of fraud, somebody steals your identity, you can request a fraud alert from the credit bureaus. They can last 7 years. All right, and those are specifically designed for victims of fraud or credit fraud, identity theft. If you've been a victim of that and you reported it to the authorities, you made a police report, more than likely they'll ask you to supply a copy of that report, and that's really all you'll need. And when you have that extended fraud alert because of an actual fraud that happened to you, you get 2 free credit reports from each of the top 3 credit bureaus, the 3 main credit bureaus, for 12 months after the incident. Normally, you're only able to get 1 free credit report from each of the 3 main credit bureaus once a year. One from each credit bureau once a year. So if you're a victim of fraud, you can get 2 from each of them for the following 12 months after the incident of fraud. All right. They take your name off the marketing list for pre-screen credit offers for 5 years, unless you ask them to put your name back on the list. That's up to you. So those are the 3 types. You got the temporary fraud alert, the active duty for military fraud alert, and you got the fraud victim alert if you're actually a victim of fraud, identity theft, or credit fraud. It doesn't affect your credit, doesn't have any impact on that, nothing to do with your credit score, it doesn't change anything, doesn't hurt your ability to get a loan or a credit card or anything like that. Nothing to do with that. The one thing, just like a credit freeze, can slow down your ability to get instant approval for a credit card or in-store offers. More here with the fraud alert is if you're doing something because they have to verify your information on a fraud alert. The systems that are set up in stores or retail outlets, most of them aren't set up to be able to do that process and handle that process of verifying to contact who the person is to make sure it's them. So that'll keep you from getting those, on the spot credit approvals. Big Tim, what's up? Lori, how you doing? And basically, when does it make sense? Fraud alert's good precaution if you suspect that your credit card information or social security information has been stolen or is exposed in a data breach. We talked about those last night too. They happen all the time. Major companies get hacked and breached all the time. And also referring back to the military fraud or military alert, if you're on a military assignment and you're going to be away or out of the country for an extended period of time and you can't keep track of your credit, you put that. It's a good time to put one on. If you find out that your stuff wasn't stolen or there's no information, you're not seeing any indication that anybody's using your stuff, you can always take it off. But between the two, I think it's just easier to get the credit freeze. So if you'd like to know more information about what a credit freeze is and how that works, go back to my live video from last night and check that out. Again, same thing with the credit freeze. They can't do anything with your credit, but if you're not applying for credit every day or every week, which most people do not, it's only once in a while usually that people get a car loan, or a very, very long time period people get a mortgage or a home loan, credit cards here and there. You can always unfreeze it and freeze it back up again. So bottom line, all you have to do to get one is go to the website of one of the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, search for fraud alert, pick which type of fraud alert that you want, follow the instructions, submit whatever information they want, and you have your fraud alert. Remember, you place the fraud alert through one of the 3 main credit bureaus. It counts for all 3. You're good to go. And that's it, my friends. Hope that went pretty well. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys got some value out of that. I think this is also another important piece of information that people should know. Your credit is a huge part of your life. If you liked it, please give me a like, give me a love, give me a share, send it out there if you think other people should see this. And hey, check out my YouTube channel. There are a lot of videos that I put on here daily, or whenever I put them on, Facebook, social media, whatever, but there are some other things on there that are not posted here. And enjoy. Thanks a lot, my friends. Have an awesome night. Your friend Keith Chait. CK Power. Crazy Keith. Mr. Free Everything. Go get it, my friends.